News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A U of M grad relates his experience in that terrifying Nepal earthquake. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, April 28th, 2015. Right now, the sky's mostly clear. There's a little bit of haze out there. We have 38 degrees in Missoula. And our newscast, sponsored by our friends at Dr. Troy Doxey and the friendly team at Chiropractic Works, where they're dedicated to chiropractic solutions to target your unique needs. A devastating earthquake in Nepal has claimed the lives of over 4,000 people. The death toll is still rising. University of Montana graduate Thomas Nybo was in Kathmandu when the quake hit and was able to give this report to Voices of Montana host Aaron Flint yesterday.
I think a lot of people in Montana, certainly the case in Helena, you've felt tremors before. We felt a tremor, and just about the time you expect it to die down after 2 seconds, the intensity went through the ceiling. And all of a sudden, the entire place is shaking, and it doesn't let up for a minute. And at that point, you're not even sure you're going to make it out alive. Things are flying off the walls. I mean, the building is swaying to such an extent that you couldn't run out if you wanted to.
Nybo travels the world for his work and was in Afghanistan just a few weeks ago. Nepal was supposed to be a restful stop.
I'm a freelance photographer and filmmaker, and for the past 11 years, I've been doing a lot of work with UNICEF around the world, 50 countries and counting. And for the past 2 years, my focus has been in South Asia. And the South Asia headquarters for UNICEF happens to be in Kathmandu. That's why I was here. I was actually kind of between countries. I just returned from Bangladesh.
Nybo's work is being noticed. Some of his photographs have appeared in the New York Times. The Montana Senate has refused to adjourn for the session after lawmakers in the House voted down a $150 million infrastructure bill and then moved to go home 4 days early. Senators voted 33-14 yesterday to nullify a House motion earlier in the day to adjourn for the session. They also voted to move their Monday agenda items to today at 7 a.m. A transient from Florida, 33-year-old Brian Flowers, was accused in Missoula Justice Court yesterday with felony criminal production of dangerous drugs. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Mac Bloom told Substitute Judge Nick Geranius why he was asking for high bail.
Judge, in this case, we're going to request $50,000 in bail. The state believes that the defendant is a danger to the community. He was charged with creating a meth lab in this case in a storage unit.
Bloom went on to catalog Flowers' extensive criminal history.
Felony assault of a firefighter, burglary, grand theft, robbery, felony vehicle theft, and then he's also been charged with possession of meth with intent to sell. The state also believes the defendant is a flight risk. He has no local ties to the community. He's also failed to appear in 2013, and he has had 2 arrests in 1 day for contempt of court.
Judge Geranius agreed, placed Flowers back in jail on $50,000 bond. A 46-year-old Harlem man died, and another was injured at a weekend crash near the town of Loma, which is near Great Falls. The Montana Highway Patrol said the victim was driving south on U.S. Highway 87 a Sunday afternoon. When the car drifted to the left side of the road, the driver overcorrected. The car rolled. Both men were ejected. The driver was pronounced dead at the big hospital in Big Sandy. The passenger, a 45-year-old Harlem man, was life-flighted from Big Sandy to a hospital in Great Falls. Neither were wearing seatbelts. Since Sunday, April 19th, the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office and search and rescue crews from at least 3 other counties have put in over 3,000 man-hours searching for an 8-year-old girl who fell into the Missouri River. Gallatin County Undersheriff Dan Springer told our John King yesterday the search will continue, but not at the same intensity.
Yeah, essentially we did suspend all of the major operations. What that means is that we don't have the 50, 70, 100 people out there with multiple resources. We have not canceled the search by any means. We are running the banks 2 to 3 times a day, and then we'll get some boats out there as well.
Springer says the search efforts may intensify again if there are any substantial changes.
We have any changing conditions in the river or any clues, whatever those might be, we would certainly then start ramping back up. It's a tough situation. The visibility, is less than 6 inches underwater. And, even though we have combed it and covered it with cameras and whatnot, you have to have, honestly, a little bit of luck.
Yesterday, the little girl was identified as 8-year-old Madison Veal of Logan, Montana. An appeals court has denied a petition by Yellowstone Club co-founder Tim Blixseth to be released from custody, while the court reviews a Montana judge's decision to hold him in contempt for failing to explain how he spent $13.8 million in proceeds from selling a resort property in Mexico. Two judges with the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals yesterday denied Blixseth's motion. Swelling prices at the pump pushed California gas up another 25 cents this week, while most of the country joined in on the rising trend. According to petroleum analyst Patrick Dehan, he says Montana is singing a different tune.
Peace and quiet, one of the few markets across the country that has not seen a big increase is the state of Montana. Prices have remained unchanged versus last week, sitting pretty at about $2.32 a gallon, certainly bucking the trend that we're seeing nationally. The nation's gas price average up to about almost a 9-cent a gallon jump versus prices a week ago.
Gas prices expected to go up in Montana as well, but that may be delayed.
It wouldn't surprise me in the next couple weeks to see Montana jump on that train and start to see prices inch up a little bit higher, though we're well familiar that the Rockies have access to cheaper Canadian crude oil, and that may keep prices depressed for the next, say, 7 to 10 days.
Dehan says most states are envious of Montana's prices, where the cost at the pump is a full $1 less than it was at this time a year ago. Missoula Farmers Market gets underway for its 43rd year Saturday in downtown Missoula. It's a rite of spring for the Garden City at its traditional location by the X's in downtown Missoula. Market manager Evita Nagel said the market opens early, and I mean really early, Saturday morning.
We start at about 6 a.m. I'm there, but we don't open for business until shortly after that when our vendors are set up 6:30 to 12 o'clock. Still experience good food, good people, just an all-around great atmosphere to hang out with friends, family, and just the public in Missoula.
Nagel said many of the vendors at the market have been there for a number of years, but new vendors are always welcome.
For the most part, they start with an application process through us to sign up to get a spot, and they have to have locally grown items on the western side of Montana. And that's pretty much it. They pay their fees and they're able to sell their products.
And of course, admission is free. And one more story that actually comes out of New Jersey. You want farm fresh eggs without the commitment of owning chickens? Try renting them. Poultry leases are a growing business for companies nationwide as people seek to live more sustainably through local food sources. Rentals allow customers to get eggs from humanely raised hens without the commitment of ownership. Companies like Pennsylvania's Rent the Chicken offers packages that include a coop, supplies, and support with any questions or problems. How do you get into that chicken outfit? News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Today will be the warmest day of the year with our high temperatures in the upper 70s to right around 80. Mostly clear tonight with our lows in the low 40s. We're tracking a cold front that will bring an isolated shower and windy conditions to the area on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.